So, the film that we went to see this week was Puss in Boots: The
Puss
Last
in
Wish.
Boots, The
Wh-
Last Wish.
Yes, which is the continuation, the latest film in the Shrek franchise, focusing on Antonio Banderas's Puss in Boots, who first showed up in Shrek 2, but has become a breakout character. He was probably the breakout character of Shrek 2. He had another film called Puss in Boots, and now he has a sequel many years later that I think nobody asked for. I think it's like I genuinely want to know how this film ended up being made because because I don't think anybody was clamoring for this. It wasn't like anybody was saying yeah, oh, bring Puss in Boots back, oh my god, oh, this thing has happened online and Antonio Banderas all of a sudden is the flavor of the month, so let's bring Puss in Boots back. It's just arrived, and because it's animated, I know that it takes ages to make these things. Therefore, how did this film get made? But anyway, the idea behind this is that Puss in Boots is obviously a cat. He has 9 lives. And it turns out at the beginning, he's doing his whole look at me. I'm kind of like Zorro. I'm kind of like, hero to this sort of South American town. And he has this whole song and everything. And he has like a whole action sequence that shows up. He's your favorite fearless hero and all. And then a massive bell lands on him in his hubris. Massive bell lands on him. And he meets a doctor. And the doctor tells him, you died, but you've died 8 times. This is your last life. And so Puss in Boots kind of goes, don't worry, no big deal. But then he starts getting, and this might, for what is supposed to be a kid's film, this might be a little bit heavy. But then he starts getting existential and he starts realizing that the only reason he could be fearless in all the other times is because he had other lives to waste. And this time around, he realizes that if he dies, that's it. If he dies, that's it. So he pretty much goes into retirement, but the whole plot of the film is about him trying. The last wish talks about the fact that they have this sort of wishing star that fell to the ground, and it's about him trying to find this wishing star so he can have a wish and can restore his lives, and therefore he can be back to being the hero that he always was. Because then he has the safety net of knowing if he dies, no big deal, he carries on. And that is the basic plot of the film. Sean, what did you think?
Okay, yeah, the basic plot of the film, and yeah, some. So he goes on an adventure. Obviously, you meet characters along the way. This was for me. This was moments of enjoyment, and it was a bit. There were moments in the film where it was like, and I understand why Sharon doesn't like animation films sometimes. But I would have liked to have. I don't think they spent. The cat's home. You know the cat's home. I wish they. Yes. I would have liked to have seen them spend a little bit more time there and perhaps develop that. Because
where Puss in Boots retires to an old
Puss in
cat's
Boots
home.
retire an old cat's home, and you've got all the cats there all going like so. But yeah. I mean, the three bears, Goldilocks, and the three bears for me were the standout characters. I mean, I loved them. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. I mean, they were voiced by some good actors as well, weren't they? So,
yeah. Florence Pugh as Goldilocks,
the Goldilocks. Olivia Colman as Mama Bear. Oh,
yep, Ray Winstone as Papa Bear, and Samson Kayo as Baby Bear.
But the character, which was probably my favourite, was a little Jiminy Cricket with the voice of James Stewart. That was wow. I can't do it. Can you do a James Stewart impression?
Oh no, I can't do a good Jiminy. He's like, I'm just going to be here to be your conscience. It's like, oh my God, you're a horrible person.
So I liked him. I thought he was pretty good, and I quite enjoyed Big Jack Horner.
Oh yeah, Big Jack. Little Jack Horner has grown up and become Big Jack Horner.
Yeah, and the Baker's Dozen. I thought that was quite original with the Baker's Dozen. Yeah,
yeah. This is the thing, because I think the original Shrek was they did a lot more about fairy tales. It was more about fairy tales. This one seems to be a lot more about nursery rhymes.
Yes.
Because yeah. I mean, so you have like Little Jack Horner. He has this Baker's Dozen thing. And there's a whole bunch. There's a bit where when he rolls out with his Baker's Dozen, it's like a scene from Mad Max Fury Road.
yeah.
It's like a scene from Mad Max Fury Road. I think the animation style it's different from anything else that they've done in the Shrek thing, because it looks a little bit more like Into the Spider-Verse, where they use the sort of Japanese thing of what I call go faster lines, where and they have like different animation, like there's bits where you have different frame rates, and they mess around with it a bit, and I thought and the thing is with with Shrek, what I liked about Shrek, the original, was that it was a bit of a satire. I don't think this is
Yes.
much of a satire. It's more of a straight action
Yes.
adventure film, like Zorro. I keep coming back to Zorro because that is obviously who.
Well,
Puss
that's
in Boots
like
is
the
based on.
that's like his with the sword,
like-
isn't it?
yeah, with the sword and
The initial he makes.
Yeah, and he cuts a P,
Yeah.
which. Which I have some serious issues with, some serious physics issues with, because if you cut a P in a piece of cloth, wouldn't a piece of it just fall away? Because
thought, wouldn't
it's a
you?
piece
It
of
wouldn't hold together. No.
It wouldn't- I mean, a Z, yeah, no problem, but a
Yeah.
P, there's a bit of it, like the curve at the top would fall away. But,
That's it,
but
it'd be
never
a big
mind.
hole. Never mind.
Never
You'd
mind.
not be able to put a line through.
Yeah, you won't be able to put a line through, but that's the thing. He does put a line through. But then again, we're talking about a film with a talking cat, so maybe
Yes.
Maybe a
maybe I'm overthinking this.
Can I just ask you one thing? What did you think of the wolf character? Because I don't.
I liked the wolf character. I liked the characterization of the wolf character.
Yeah,
I liked the voice performance by Wagner Moura. I liked the but I know what you're getting at, and I know what you're getting at, that it seems a little bit. Where did that come from? It seems a little bit, where did that come from? But I do like the fact that it's a film ostensibly about death. It's about death, and it's about realizing that, okay, almost kind of like, because all these films have like a moral, or they have like a sort of point. And it's kind of like, almost like, oh, you have one life, what are you going to do with it, and all that. I love the return of Salma Hayek as Kitty Softpaws, and Harry Guillian does well as a dog who doesn't have a name. They just call him Perro, or they call him Perdito, which either means dog or little dog in Spanish.
Little dog, yeah. He's like the old.
So
Anyway.
yeah, but Sean, I agree with you. I mean, this is a film that a lot of people have been raving about. They've raving, saying, "Oh my God, great stuff and everything." I did not think it was as good as the raves.
No.
I did not think it was as good as the raves I've heard. And I agree with you that there's moments of enjoyment in it, tempered by, well, it's a bit straightforward.
Yeah.
It's a bit what you expect. So for me, I think I would have to give this a 3.
I would agree with you on that. I would agree with the 3. As I say, it had moments. It was quite fun. Some of the characters were quite interesting. As I say, the little cricket would amuse me.
Yeah.
Get him!
It's a while. Oh, Mr. Horner, I don't think you should be doing that. So, like, I know, but I agree with you. I think there were some really, really good bits. There were some inventive bits, especially when they go into all the magic stuff, because Jack Horner wants to get all the magic in the world to himself, and you see how he's taking all these magic artifacts from different fairy tales and different nursery rhymes and all that. And I think it's quite good. And I still think that Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots is just inspired casting.
It is really, and when he sports that beard,
when he has the beard, when he has the Puss in Boots, because he's going into retirement, and of course when you go into retirement, you grow a beard. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
I'll give it a 3 too.
Can I just
I think
ask one minor question? Bear in mind, I have no intention of watching it.
Yes.
Is this a 3D animation? Because I've noticed that in recent years they've done a whole let's make all the animation 3D as well. So is it as
I didn't see it. I didn't see a
trad, or
3D
is it
version
3D?
if it was.
Oh no, I think what you mean, what Sharon's asking is it hand drawn or is it computer animated?
Oh, I see. Oh, right.
Oh, and does it do 3D as well? Because when I was last dragged to an animated film, it had the added burden of being a 3D animated
Oh, okay.
film.
Oh no, in that case,
So
no.
it was like double the pain as far as I was concerned.
I haven't seen this anywhere in 3D.
No.
Oh, so it's more like a traditional animated film.
If it's like Shrek, they're all computer animated, so they're not like flat. It's not like flat stuff. It's they're models and all that, but it's computer animated. But even if it was in 3D, I would not have been watching that. So because me and 3D don't match. No.
No, but it seemed to be a thing. Because I think wasn't the last Toy Story in 3D?
There was a time when they released.
They went
all
the
the
phase
Toy
when they were
Stories.
doing a lot of 3D animated things.
Well, after the last Avatar, after the first Avatar, sorry, what happened was that everything became 3D. So even films that weren't shot in 3D, they retreated them to make them 3D after the effect. and because people could charge more and they could make more money, and they were largely rubbish. So it were very few times when it actually came out. So yeah, no, not in 3D, it's in 2D, but it's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, a lot of fun.